Okay, so thanks for joining me for this quick tutorial on ParentVue. I'm going to assume you already know how to log into ParentVue and you've landed on the home page. The first thing I want to show you quickly, although hopefully most of you know this already, is the calendar. Up here top left corner, I click on calendar. This is a great place for me to see assignment completion. Um, it lands by default on December, the current month, but since we're early in December, let's go back in time and look at November. Here's a list of all the assignments that were assigned in all of my students' classes. All of these are clickable. I noticed that my student here has one missing assignment in Lori Rice's language arts class. The assignment is called Important Supreme Court Cases. I can click on it, find out more about that particular assignment, and get a little more information about what standards it was attached to, what type of assignment it was. Turns out this was a scaffolded assessment. That means an assessment that he was able to get help on, work cooperatively with peers, for example. I'm going to go back to that calendar, sorry. If it doesn't say missing, typically means it has been turned in on time. Remember that this assignment completion view, this calendar view, is retroactive. It does not show what is due tomorrow, the next day, or next week. It only shows what was due in the past and what is now missing, meaning it hasn't been turned in and it's late. So for planning ahead, we have students use the Edmodo Planner. That's a calendar tool that they can use to plan what homework they have due in the coming days. For now, I do want to show you the gradebook. The gradebook is a really important place for you to track your students, to know whether your student is on track, moving towards proficiency or even mastery of the learning targets in each class. No matter when you click on gradebook, you will land on a list of classes. Let's click on 7th grade humanities, for example, language arts. I open up language arts and it defaults to the assignment view of this class, a list of all the assignments, the type of assignment right here, whether it was an on-demand assessment, for example, that's an assessment that was taken independently, privately, with no help, a practice assignment, or a scaffolded assessment. More importantly, in order to see how my son or daughter is doing on their quest towards proficiency, I click on Standards View up in this top right corner. It shows me a list of all the standards being assessed in this class currently and shows the average score my son or daughter has on that standard at this point in the semester. This is a score on our 6-point rubric. It's really important to know that we want all of our students to demonstrate proficiency. That is a 4 or higher in all of the standards in any given class. And it turns out that this particular student is meeting that challenging bar at this point. Any of these standards can be opened up so that I can see what assessments and assignments have been given under this standard and how did my student arrive at this average of 4. And here's a list of all the different assignments, practice assignments, and assessments that have been given under this particular standard and the scores underneath. And again, I want ideally what we see as on-track grade level growth is a 4 on the 6-point scale. So that's a great view. It's really important to know that you can click in between classes, you can go to this standards view, and you can look to see in any particular standard what are the scores my student has received that so far, and this helps me as a parent get a sense of whether my student is on track. Again, especially in the second half of any given semester, we would like all of our students to be striving for a 4 or higher. That's proficiency. 4 and 5 are proficiency, 6 is mastery. A 4 or higher in all of the given standards in each of their classes. Here in science, we see that some of the standards are habits of work standards. Here's one for responsibility. Here's one for participation. And some of the standards are specific science content or science skill standards. Here's one about disturbance and ecosystem change. Another here about applying my understanding of how scientific knowledge is constructed. These standards are the core standards that are being taught and assessed for the semester. Thanks very much for watching this quick look on ParentVue. We really encourage you to look at both the assignment completion side of ParentVue, but more importantly, this standards view to see whether your student is making the kind of on-track progress we would hope that all our students are making. If you have any questions about any particular class, we always encourage you to email the teacher or give us a call here in the office. Thanks so much for listening.